This is a test. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hey there, YouTube. My name's Kenny Soto, and welcome to another episode of my vlog. This is episode 3, and the name of this vlog has been titled Kenny's Vlog because I did not want to overthink the name. So today we are going to talk about work, specifically how to get work and how to get remote work in 2020. Now, let's start from the very beginning. I used to and continue to struggle getting mainly any kind of job that I've ever applied for, whether that's being a digital marketer or working retail back in high school. It was always impossible for me to get work. Why? Because just like you, I had to figure out how to answer this ridiculous question. How to get work when I don't have any experience. I spent years trying to figure out what's the answer, and I think maybe, just maybe, that answer is broken down into 4 parts. One is that it's a numbers game. Let's face it, there are tens and hundreds and thousands of people applying for the same jobs that you are applying for. And part of you getting that job that you really, really want, or the job that you hate, is a numbers game. Sometimes it's just left down to chance. Are you the most best suited person out of the whole pool of candidates that are also applying for the work that you're applying for too? Second, sometimes it's just your network that helps you. You get hired by your peers. That's another part of the harsh reality when it comes to applying for work. If you're not well connected, if you don't have a good network, then it's going to be very hard for you to get work, especially if you are starting off and you don't have experience. The third way to get work is to volunteer. That way you can get experience by working for free. But if you have to pay the bills, this isn't feasible as well. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the 4th method, the 4th approach to getting work. And this is by hiring yourself first. What does that mean? Essentially, what I'm talking about is a combination of personal branding and doing work that you would like to do to see if you would like it, to see if it's something that is actually enjoyable before you spend a year in a job that you hate. So the way I went about doing this was I started a blog in 2015. I used to own it on kennysoto.com, and recently I had to revamp it because I didn't really like how it was going. But when I started this blog, the main purpose of it was to be an online resume. My mentor, Maurice Bretzfield, told me that it's essential for people my age, millennials, to stand out. And the only way we can stand out is by having something more than just the regular piece of paper, the CV. We needed to have something that really shows who we are. For some people, that's a website, a blog in my case. For others, that's YouTube, or that is a podcast. And these things, these entities that represent us online are supposed to help us stand out from everyone else who's just submitting an email with a CV and a cover letter. I'm not gonna bombard you with, here's the first 6 steps to making your own personal brand grow online. There's tons of videos out there. You can literally search how to start a personal brand, how to grow my personal brand, how to start a vlog, how to start a podcast, how to start writing every single day. There's tons of resources online. I'll link in the description down below how I got started. What I am here to talk to you about is, once you actually start growing and start building your personal brand, how do you use it so that you can actually get work? Specifically, remote work. Before we continue with that, let's first define what remote work is. Remote work is any kind of work from home or online gig, whether that's copywriting, online teaching, being a virtual assistant, doing graphic design work, video editing, or anything else that I personally can't think of the top of my head, but I'm sure if you just search how to get online work or what is a digital nomad, you'll see more things that you can possibly do. What I did for about 3 to 4 months is I revamped my digital presence. That meant that I wrote more articles on LinkedIn and on Medium because my website wasn't growing, and it still isn't growing right now. But if you click the link below to kennysoto.com, it might. And what I did was I started applying ferociously, fiercely, just in the zone. I started applying to hundreds of jobs on LinkedIn, hundreds of jobs on Upwork and Guru.com, and I got 0 responses. And I was thinking to myself, okay, so I have an updated resume. I am trying to showcase my skills more as a copywriter through all these articles that I'm writing. What else do I need to do to stand out? I'm not well connected in the remote worker or digital nomad space so that I can start working at all these different companies around Asia where I am currently. So what I decided to do was I went the unconventional route. See, one of the main problems that we have is we tend to apply in places that are already oversaturated. But 2 places that people aren't currently using, and I highly recommend that you use for finding any kind of work, especially remote work, are AngelList and Craigslist. Because these are the places where I personally got my copywriting gigs. So I want to first start off with AngelList. And what is AngelList? AngelList is a platform for people to work specifically with startups. So it's a great place to not only get online work for copywriting, but for coders, graphic designers, virtual assistants, you name it. Why is AngelList so great? Because they, just like in LinkedIn, pair you with your ideal employer. So it's really good for you, especially if you're first starting off and you just graduated college, or you're only 2 to 3 years in your career like myself. It's a great place for you to find opportunities that you would not likely find unless you had a really great network. I personally am applying to jobs every single day because, again, it's a numbers game. For me to get my first job on AngelList, I had to apply to 83 jobs, whereas the first time I ever got a job, I had to apply to 147 different companies. So over time, as you get more experience, the numbers go down in theory. But at the end of the day, you always have to remember that it is a numbers game, and it is mainly persistence that helps you get through the grind of getting a job. Let's go on to Craigslist. Now, I really like Craigslist, especially for finding online remote work and finding copywriting work specifically, because of all the opportunities that there are in non-English speaking countries. Most of the work that I get from my clients are from Japan, Singapore, Korea, and other countries in Southeast Asia. Why? Because they are looking for professionals who can speak and write and read in English, which means the talent pool is much smaller there. And again, because trying to get online work and any kind of work is a numbers game, you want to be in a talent pool where it's the smallest and where you can stand out the most, where your chances of standing out the most. Now, with Craigslist, there's a lot of specific steps that I take to get jobs, find jobs on the search. First and foremost, what you want to do is write a list of countries that you would want to work for that are non-English speaking if you're going to be doing copywriting specifically. If you're going to be doing anything else like graphic design or coding, you can definitely use Craigslist for USA and European countries. For copywriting specifically, what I did was I went to Asia and I searched Korea, Singapore, Japan as my 3 primary targets. Then what I did was I clicked on the writing and editing section of the jobs that are listed, and instead of putting copywriter or content writer, I just type in the word English, or you can type in the phrase English writer. That way, your search is honed in more and you're able to find specific jobs that you can stand out because you're a native English speaker. It is important to note that regardless of what you're applying for, if you don't have past work to showcase, then you're not going to be considered. So this is why personal brand and hiring yourself first is so important. You want to make sure that you are writing, period. That means you can write about anything. It can be about anime, manga, cooking, your favorite type of nuts. I like pistachios and almonds. Literally any subject, so long as you're showcasing that you can create a content schedule and show that you are able to write cohesively. Whatever it may be, so long as you can show that you can generate content, that's the most important thing when it comes to finding online writing work. So I'm also including a list of platforms where you can find online work in the link down below. if you have any specific questions, or if you would like for me to make a video specific to anything that I've talked about today, please let me know in the comments below. That's the only way I'm able to grow this vlog. That's the only way I'm able to get more ideas, because if not, then some of these videos are just gonna be me ranting and raving about things that I think are interesting. But I wanna make sure I'm also talking about things that are interesting to you, because that's the only way that we can actually grow a relationship together on this platform called YouTube. If you've lasted this far, first and foremost, thank you so much. YouTube is still new to me, and I'm trying my best to bring value to you. Comment below with any questions or any requests on specific videos. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate the fact that you stayed and watched all the way through. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. And please, please, please share this with anyone that you might think would benefit. That could be someone who's about to graduate college, someone who's 1 year into their work and they're looking for a way to get an extra side hustle, or that can be someone who's looking into working from home permanently and they are tired of the office grind. So again, thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and peace out.